So now we have seen in so many companies, like they do not have proper business process. Okay. So for that
Yes.
also we get issues during the implementation because they are used to already with the wrong process. So they do not want to adopt the process if or like you have already said the standardizations of the business. Okay. So if
Yes.
we give them any standard procedure, which already because in ERP what happens, or in always ERP is being developed with a proper business process. Okay, so the moment you go for the ERP, that means like you have to follow the some process, some set of rules actually. Okay, so we have seen that people are not used to work in a standardizations methods. So for that they sometimes they buy the ERP, but they opt for only 2 3 modules, and they kept other modules means like out of the means like software, or they still they keep on doing the manual. And also one more important thing that I have noticed uh, in the businesses who those who do not have the business process is like, suppose for example, sometimes company used to blame their employees of being unproductive. But in my experience what I have noticed is that people are like, suppose for example you have a salesperson and someone is asking for the quotation, for example. Okay, so in SMEs what
Yes.
happened, the quotation will be prepared by the MDs or with the highest authority people. Now the lower level executives, and he is assigned for a sales job and with some monthly target also in his job description. Okay, so when person is means like have to submit the quotation, the more he will submit the quotations, then he will get the closures, right? Then what happens during the means like quotation submissions, they need approvals. Why the approval is required? Because the company do not have the standard set of pricing rules, and they have not given the proper flexibilities to the sales employee that if this is the client and this is the how they are it's like doing the business, or if they're demanding this much of product, then give this level of discount. So if the companies already keep the process in place, okay, so it will increase the employee means like productive also, and it will erase the confusions between the employees that what to do next if the customer is asking the discount. So because this is a confusing
That's
state, that's why the people are waiting for the MD's approval, and MDs are managing the micro level thing. So I just want to put light on this through you, because you are already experienced in this. So how people can get benefit of ERP in all this small micromanagement, like which where they are getting engaged all the time, and they're means like not able to do or expand their business. Okay, because they're engaged with this small thing. So how you see this importance of business process in ERP?
Yes, I see. Actually, the problem with the small medium companies that they lack governance. So most of these companies started either by one or two founders, or maybe this is a family business, and they started in very ad hoc way. So they are very far from having business processes or let's say procedures in place inside the company. One thing I see is a benefit of having a solution or a digital solution like an ERP is that when we have a solution, that means things will follow a specific logic, specific algorithm. There will be roles and responsibilities that are distributed among the different resources, and the system will orchestrate how things will be done. So without having a system, actually, when things are done manually, no one can judge if we are following practice or not, unless you have like a specialized department that's maybe monitoring this. But with having a system, when we know that we have specific workflow, specific procedures that's implemented inside the ERP, most probably the percentage of following a specific best practices will increase. And even some small companies I have seen that when you ask them about what is the procedure that you have, they don't have. They will say if the system or the ERP have specific, let's say, best practices or procedures that are there as default procedures, let's follow them, because they don't want really to invest on having, for example, consultants that come and build for them kind of templates, procedures, best practices. They don't have the capacity to do that. So they will see in the ERP as an opportunity to implement whatever the people who made this ERP is providing. And most probably it will be a best practice, because an ERP is built based on some research, some kind of thinking. So I see it in both ways. ERP will give like a tool in the box for small medium companies, and at the same moment, uh, even those companies that have business processes in place, they will have a technique that guarantee a quality implementation of these business processes based on the a digital solution, which is the ERP.
Mhm. Okay. So you see there is an importance of business process must be there, right? Before
That's
implementing
of course
ERP. If it is
will
not there,
help.
then we have
Will
to develop.
Exactly, and it will help having ERP implementation successful, much easier to implement, because again we don't have the challenge of making people aware, or need to have managing a change for the people to go into new business processes, because they are implementing these business processes currently but manually. So having them digitally, it will be much easier to migrate the people to.
Hmm. Okay. Okay. So one last question. Just experience, which module is more complex to implement, HR or manufacturing? If you have to choose, like.
Actually, the most common module that is maybe needed and people start with is accounting. We know that. Many people say we start with accounting. Now, for example, following that will be depending on the organization. HR is the second common and requested module. But manufacturing, of course, this is specialized for specific industries and specific enterprises. And I believe most probably implementing HR will be easier, just because it's very common and people know exactly how to deal with the procedures of the HR. Manufacturing, many industries, many factories will require some kind of high caliber engineers to understand the best practices of manufacturing. So most probably implementing it will be a little bit harder.
Mhm. So in my experience, HR implementation is one of the complex, okay, because it deals with the human, okay.
Yeah.
And secondly, when you started with doing wrong calculation of the salary, okay, in the legacy system,
Things will go
yeah,
crazy.
some people will get already getting benefit of extra payments because the HR is doing it manually, okay. The moment you
That's
start with
correct.
the ERP, all the things become transparent. Means like where you are making, then they get disturbance. No, why my tax is already, means like it was deducting less, now it's increased, but now it's cutting according to the process. Earlier it was the wrong process. Okay, so for that we have seen, means like if entire ERP is going to take the implementation duration is 1 year, then HR alone will take 6 months. It is just to convince
Okay.
the people that you have to come out with the old practice which was wrong, and means like MD understand it very clearly, but employees say no, they why they have not informed us earlier that means like they will change the process.
Yeah, maybe this is correct. Even in countries where regulations for the HR more and more complex as well.